Hello, I'm David Heron with the Seven Generations Techno Sanity podcast. And so today I want to do a quick review of this gizmo I bought. Okay, so let's zoom in on the name of the gizmo. It says Misting Fan Ring. Okay, which is a little strange, a little bit of a strange name, but that's the idea. Right there is, if you have a fan, you can put a little misting thing on the front of the fan and make mist. And the idea is it cools the air. So it was a hot day, and I was at the hardware store, and I thought, oh, this looks interesting. And I've been thinking for a long time about ways to cool, make my house cool without using an air conditioner. And I thought, well, this is one of the possible ways. Okay, so the idea is if we zoom in on the actual device, you'll see, there's my hand, right there, and right there, and right there is these little knobs. And let's zoom in all the way. That may be too far. Okay, so that's sharp enough picture. So the idea is that that's a mister. And what you have here is a set of water tubes. And if we follow the tube all the way out, you'll see that that connector right there is a normal garden hose connector. So you basically just hook a garden hose to this tube. Water goes through the tube to the front of the fan, and it mists out over the fan, and then you turn the fan on, and that helps it mist even more. So the idea is that it, because it's misting water, it cools the air, and it does cool the air. So that part of it works. The installation is really simple. You can see that it's just zip ties holding it on. Okay. The only other assembly is to attach these misting knob things. For some reason they weren't attached. And the whole technology is very similar to drip irrigation systems. You've got a flexible plastic tubing, you've got this T-junction, and probably these misting things are directly from drip irrigation systems. It's just a slightly different application. So the idea is you just zip tie it to the front of the fan, you turn the fan on, turn the water on. Okay? It's very simple and straightforward. The cost is very reasonable. It was about $5, if I remember right. And it does work. It did make the air cool, and it's really easy and simple to use. Now, if you understand the physics behind this, it's obvious that this isn't going to the best environment for this to work is in places that have dry air. This isn't going to work very well in a place with humid air. And that's because of how the misting action works and what it does. So that's one caveat, is don't expect this to do very much if you live in Georgia, for instance, or Florida. I really feel for you guys, but this isn't the thing for you. If you live in Arizona, this is great, but then you probably already know that because there's lots of misting things in Arizona to make cool air. So, in any case, depending on where you live, this is a good idea. Now, I'm not going to use this again, and there's an unfortunate consequence to using this, and it's that at least at my house, in the time that I tested it, it doesn't turn the water into a proper vapor. It turns the water more into a spray of water. So, so what that means is that when I turned it on, I was hoping it would just make a very fine mist. You know, the picture on the package makes it look like it's a very fine mist, and it does look like that. And there is a certain amount of fine mist to it, but the water in that mist somehow, you know, it was collecting out of the atmosphere pretty quickly. And for instance, I set it up next to where I was sitting, and I was working on my laptop, and my laptop got covered in water from the mist. And so that's obviously not a good idea. And also the ground next to where I was misting, that also got covered with water. So basically, it's not doing a good enough job of making a really fine mist that just disappears into the atmosphere. Instead, it's more like a spray of water that is going to fall on something and make its surrounding area wet. Now, I suppose that this is adjustable by how far you adjust the water pressure. That maybe if you have it at a low water pressure, that it would do a better mist. Something that's more like a mist rather than a spray of water. I did play a little bit with the water pressure, and it did seem to help a bit, but I wasn't able to get it low enough to actually have it be just a mist rather than a mist plus a spray of water, if you follow what I mean. So in any case, I think that what that means is you have to think about where you're going to use it, as well as, because it's going to make its surrounding area wet, and so you can't really use it in a place that it can be damaged by being wet. So it's probably best to use this outdoors. So that's what I have for you. Thank you for watching. This has been the 7 Generations Techno Sanity podcast. I am your host, David Heron. You can find the 7 Generations Techno Sanity podcast at www.7gen.com/technosanity. Thank you for watching.